Hey, Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. How you doing today? Was on a bit of a break there, took some family time, had a little vacation, and so hopefully I'm not too rusty. We'll dive back into this here and see if I can help you out today. Well, a lot of questions that came in while I was gone had to do with starting your own business. And a lot of people are interested in starting their own business now because they have money. Lots of people have extra money and they're thinking about side jobs, they're thinking about growing their net worth, overall just bettering themselves. And a lot of people are usually surprised. Customers, when I respond back to them of tips and advice and things, a lot of people are pretty surprised at some of my comments. And I just take a different view on this. I'm a big proponent of betting on yourself, right? So I'm always going to support the person betting on themselves. And I'm not going to start off by saying, oh, look out for this, beware of this. No, this is an exciting time. It's a motivating time for you. I'm excited just talking about it. So today I want to give you 4 tips and things that you maybe want to consider before getting started. At Jazz Wealth here, we help with retirement investments, of course, but our goal is to grow our customers' net worth. We're focused on making sure you're making the right decisions financially along the way, and got a lot of good things coming for our customers here, so stay tuned. So hey, let's just dive right into it. I want to get right to the meat of this thing here. You're going to have 4 things you're going to focus on, and the first thing is going to be the 10,000-foot view. That is a V. I forgot how to write while I was gone. But in the 10,000-foot view, you're going to have the plan, right? That's the first thing you want to have, is some sort of plan there. Your competition, right? How are you going to do better than that? And the audience, right? This is all basic sort of stuff right here. But let's expand on this. What's going to be in the plan? This is a lot of times, I used to teach traders way back in the day. I've taught literally tens of thousands of traders all over the world. And we used to say, you got to have a plan. Start by developing a plan. Well, I always got pushback on that because people would say, I don't know what I'm doing. How am I supposed to know what the plan is? And if you're starting a new business, you may have some sort of expertise or some skill or something, but how are you supposed to know what your plan's going to be? Well, what I'm talking about here in particular is the structure of your business. How are you going to set up your business? Are you best with an LLC, an S-Corp, a partnership? What's going on here? And that's really the starting position for you. So this is not the time to go online and just see what other people do. This is the time for you to do what's specifically best for you. This is important. To change this sort of thing in the future can be rather costly from a number of perspectives. So from a planning perspective, I don't want to have you say, on day 1, I'm going to do this, and by week number 1, I'm going to have this accomplished, and my website's going to be sweet, I'm going to take lots of pictures and social posts, I'm going to have a grand opening. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm going to set up my business in such a way that benefits me in the long run. I'm going to project out into the future. How big am I trying to make this business? Each one of those different business structures has different limitations or different sort of pros and cons, we'll say, and so you want to make sure you're setting it up in that respect. From there, your plan focuses on what are you doing, who are you going to offer it to, why are you better, and why are they going to buy it from you. For example, in my sort of situation, my plan was I'm going to offer investment advice and help and sort of planning to the masses. I want to help the people that don't yet have a lot of money, and I'm going to teach them along the way. That was my plan. I feel like I could do this better than the rest because no other company really offers education. See, the companies that offer education do it in such a boring way, right? You don't know you want to learn until you're taught something. And so my plan was to make YouTube videos to teach people. Then by them learning, they would realize maybe they want to learn more. And so far, pretty successful, and that's gone pretty well. Now, the reason why people would come to me in my example was that I was going to teach them. I was going to put them on a path where eventually they may not need me. That sort of goodwill approach really has paid off, right? Because at some point there are going to be people that move on, don't need the business anymore. But there's always going to be people that want the help. And so I thought, all right, I'll help all these people. Some will drop off, but they'll be better because of it. And I can live with that. That will be just fine with me. And the other reason for the plan as far as setting this up was the audience. Who are we going to offer the service to? If you're building something, who are you selling to? Maybe you make a custom piece that's for boats, and in particular yachts. And so your focus is not going to be on the millennial. Not a lot of them have yachts yet. It may be an older person closer to retirement, successful businessman, successful entrepreneur, whatever it may be, an avid boater. And so that's going to become your audience. The answer to who your audience is not everyone. I would like to sell to everybody. It's definitely not going to work out in your favor. Also, I would add in this plan, do not sell your product or service to family. You hit the thumbs down button? No. Seriously, especially if you're offering a service, don't go to your family first. Why? You don't know exactly how your service is going to develop, right? You are putting a child into this world by starting this new business, and that child may be a comedian. That child may be more serious. You don't know what your business service may develop into. And by going to family members, you are going to set the expectations so high that as your business grows, you may find you can't service your family member like you initially promised. Or maybe you decide to go in a little different way, and it's going to disappoint your family members. I say wait for the family members until you've really refined what it is you're going to offer. If you're selling a product and they need that product and they want to use it, as long as it's a good, product, well built or whatever, then of course that's okay. Okay, as far as the audience goes, I'm sorry, I jumped around a little bit, I'm a little bit rusty. As far as the audience goes there, really refine your audience. For me in particular, I know my audience, I wanted them to be the beginner. I wanted them to be someone who has saved some money for retirement or invested a little bit, but they're not filthy rich yet. They are not in retirement with lots of money. I wanted people on their way to retirement, and so it made most sense that if I were to make YouTube videos, I probably wouldn't attract the 85-year-old retiree here in South Florida. So it sort of worked out in that respect there. So anyways, your audience, clearly define it, start small, and open the window rather than just opening the floodgates from the beginning there, okay? So that's that 10,000-foot view. Have fun with it. Don't let it stress you out. Don't let anybody freak you out about what should be in there. Just have fun with it, all right? Next, your dough. Where are you going to get this money to start your business? This is where I tend to surprise people a little bit because you either have some cash saved up, maybe you've been planning for this, right? You maybe have a job that pays well, and so you've got a little extra money, and that's fine. You're going to work the job for a little bit, and then you're going to say, then quit and go do your business full time. But where are you going to get the money? You do never, ever, ever start a business by borrowing money. My personal opinion. I just don't think it makes sense, right? Who's going to give you the money anyways? You bet on yourself, and you bet on yourself in such a way that other people come to you and want to invest, right? As far as Jazz Wealth, we are finally getting to a size where bigger companies are now coming to Jazz and saying, not sure what you're doing or how you're doing all of this work, but we'd like to invest in you. The answer is no. I don't want investors. So for you, you want to build something, bet on yourself, use your savings, do something so that people then want to come to you and participate in something that's going well. Now, if you don't have the cash, I get this all the time, right? People go, should you borrow from your 401k, your IRA, your SEP IRA, your TSP, or whatever it may be? Should you take money out of your retirement accounts? And most other advisors are going to say, oh, the penalties, the taxes. I don't care, right? You bet on yourself. If you need to take money out, this happens maybe once every couple months. A customer will say, I want to start a business. I want to dive in. I'm sick of working. I want to do it. Can I take money from my Roth IRA? Dustin, can you sell positions so I can take money? The answer is always absolutely, and I will help in any way to make sure you are successful. Bet on yourself is pretty much the moral of this entire video here, okay? Don't borrow money. Please, please, please do not borrow money. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to, we got your dough for your business. You're supposed to hit this button. It worked. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about the cash flow. Your business is open, right? Let's talk about your cash flow. It will always take longer than you think to make money in your business. When you start making money in your business, I want you to reinvest. Come on, man. Don't get excited and take that first bit of profit you have because you got to pay the rent. You got to think about that beforehand. That's in the plan. Go back to your 10,000-foot view and say, what happens if it takes a year to make $1 in profit? Can I live between now and then? Do I have enough? You are not going to start a business, whatever it is, and somehow make a ton of money in day one. It just doesn't happen. Somebody will, right? There's always going to be a story, but it's just not going to happen. It will always take longer than you think, and if you are prepared for that, go for it, right? Then you know you're ready to go. The first business I ever started, you guys probably saw the video, it was a printing company. It was just right out of college. I had nothing else to do. I wanted to be a pilot, but I decided not to do that at that point. But I decided I wanted to invest. I wanted to be a trader. I wanted to do this, and I needed money. And I couldn't get money from family. So I started a business with the sole intention of selling it so I'd have money to go trade and invest and do my thing. There was a Chinese guy that walked into the shop one day, and he recognized we were on the corner there, and he was like, "What are you guys doing here?" We talked a little bit. I'll never forget. I'm not making fun of Chinese people. I just thought it was so cool how he said it. We was about 2 months into the business there, and we were sort of sitting there. Didn't really have a lot of business. And he goes, "How long you been in business?" I said, "It's been 2 months." And he goes, "6 months you'll be cranking." And I just thought it was so cool how he said it, because he was trying to be like cool and sort of slang. And 6 months you'll be cranking. Hang in there. And we had more than enough money and time to stick around for 6 months. Sure enough, it really was about 6 months before more people came along and they started paying more attention to what we were doing. Interesting fact there, to get people in the door, instead of handing out flyers and saying, "We print stuff on paper," we handed out flyers that said, "Come by for a glass of wine or a bottle of beer. Just come hang out. We're just getting together every day after hours." And so we ended up having all these people come by just for a glass of wine or a beer. We made sangria and a thing. Totally illegal, by the way. We should have never done that. And it got people in the door. When they were in the door, they would go, "What's that smell? It smells sort of interesting in here." "Oh, that's the ink on the printer. Come on back. I'll show you what a printing press looks like." And that's how we really got started there. So cash flow. When we started to make money, we reinvested the money, right? When you start to make money, reinvest in it. Do not start taking money early if you can avoid it. Of course, if you need, you got to take money if you need to have some money there, but try to reinvest as long as possible. If you've ever seen the studio here, if you've ever seen how we've sort of developed over time, it's not because somebody has $1 million. We just keep reinvesting, because there's so much more we want to offer here. And as you grow, you'll realize, "Oh, I'm here. I'm trying to get to here, though. Okay, let me reinvest. Let me offer something more. Let me do something different." Those things will come up to you, and I want you to be ready for them. All right, the final tip that I have for you, tip number 4, sorry, this is a little long today, is your personal life, right? Your personal life as a entrepreneur, right? Totally changes. You guys get it, right? You see how often I post videos. You see how often I'm trying to be in front of you, how often I'm trying to teach you something new, do something for customers, change up the website and things like that. We're always building stuff. The dojo, we're building this dojo in the background. It's going to be so much in there, but it takes time away. I was just gone for a week, went on a cruise. It was fun, but I wanted to work, right? And I realized there has to be that separation between life and business. But for me, when you start a business, remember, it's a child. You're putting a child into the world. The child's going to get beat up, picked on. You're going to get people that don't like your child, people that love your child. You need to be ready to take those punches and adjust along the way. And you can't do that if you're just doing this one day a week. You can't do that if you're just barely marketing for yourself. So realize that your personal life will need to stop. I have a good friend of mine. His name's Joe Smith. He never watches my videos. He's my best friend. I've known him forever. He hates me right now. We went on the cruise together. His family came with us. It's the first time I've really seen him in maybe 8 months, and we don't live more than 5 minutes away from each other. I stopped going fishing with him. When he calls and asks to do stuff with me, I'm like, "I can't, man. You can come by the shop and hang out if you like, but I can't." Because I'm so dedicated to this, I'm not going to do anything else that distracts me from this. On the 4th of July, I started watching fireworks from the back of the studio, and I loved it. It was awesome, right? Because there's just no need to do anything else. Live your business. Don't let it take away from your family, but your friends, your social life. Either they're coming along for the ride, or you're going to have to wait until you get to that level you're trying to be at. I don't mean to be like Gary Vee here. I know he's a big hustle guy and be hard and everything like that. Live your life, but at the end of the day, how do you treat your child, right? You give everything you have to your child. This is your new child. It is a part of it, right? My kid happens to be 18, so she's okay doing her own thing now. She doesn't need me there all the time, and so she actually likes kind of helping and being a part of this as well. So there you go. Those are your 4 tips right there. I want you to have the 10,000-foot view. Spend some time on that and have fun with it. Get your friends involved as well. Let them know what you're about to embark on. Number 2 is the dough. Where are you going to get the dough, man? How's this going to work? Plan through that. Don't be surprised by that. Get the money when you have access to it, not when you need it, right? It's just like they say to big companies. You ever wonder why big companies keep issuing more and more debt, more bonds, selling more shares, things like that? They do it when they can get it. Because if you can raise money when you don't need it, you'll have it, right? If you have to raise money when you do need it, you're not going to be able to find it. For some reason, people won't want to give you money. So figure out the dough. If you need to borrow from yourself, do it. Believe in yourself and do it. Number 3, the cash flow. Reinvest in yourself. Don't worry about making a few dollars in the beginning. Worry about making many dollars in the future. Help people along the way when you have next to nothing as far as a business goes. And when your business is big, you'll have more people than you know what to do with, more customers that are really cheering for you rather than sort of just helping you and buying stuff or whatever you sell. And number 4, family life, right? Take care of your family, do what you got to do, but your friends and everything, look, they'll always be there for you. I don't mean to be that guy, but they're either going to support you or not. And luckily, my friend Joe really, really supports me. He is a customer of mine. He definitely supports it. He just wishes I was around a little bit more, but he's about to start a business as well, so he's about to feel what's going on there. So anyways, that's all I have for you. Today, we'll be back with the closing beat. We're going to announce our Guess the Dow winner. If you're playing the game, since I was out on Friday, we do have a winner, and we'll be back, of course, to talk about the stock market. It's live here, 5 o'clock every day on this YouTube channel here. And we will see you then. So enjoy, and I appreciate you watching.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.